Hi there, my name's Garrett Dudden, and today I'm going to be talking about the future of video games, esports, and streaming. So, overall, throughout this entire semester, there was things about gaming and um, different esports that are on the rise, and just the overall increase of streaming that I did not realize before I got into this class. And I think after finally taking a look at everything and seeing the facts right in front of me, I think as a society as a whole, we should start finally accepting the fact that esports and video games are going to become very serious professions over the years. Um, it should be perfectly acceptable nowadays if we hear a kid say, "Hey, I want to be in esports whenever I grow up. I want to be a gamer or a streamer." I felt like for a while during my childhood, there was kind of a stigma around video games. They were obviously really cool to us kids, but like for older generations, they weren't necessarily the biggest thing about it. I always heard as a kid that they're gonna rot my brain with garbage. And I feel like a lot of the different skills as far as like hand-eye coordination, stuff like that, and problem solving, creating a community within these games that are interactive with other people, um, just is so far-fetched from that idea that it rots your brain with garbage. Um, you know, Looking more and more at how people are professionally doing this and making careers out of this and being a part of esports teams and even making their livelihood streaming and seeing the revenue value that you can get if you hit it big as a streamer is just insane to me that we aren't being more acceptable to it. I'm sure our generation is, but I think as society as a whole, from past generations to even future generations, we need to let people be more aware that this is acceptable and that this is a form of media and content that we should be able to say, hey, we want more of this and we want more people trying to pursue it as a career. Something that I mentioned in my paper is nowadays you'll look up and kids that want to play travel baseball, you'll see them decked out in all this gear and have the newest bats. And parents may spend thousands of dollars in hopes that their kid makes it to the MLB one day. And even if they don't and they just enjoy playing baseball, we're perfectly fine with them spending thousands of dollars. We don't blink an eye at it and spending all this money investing in their kid for all this stuff. But in the past, I feel like if a parent invested in a video game for them, it was kind of like this weird deal that they were like, "What are you doing to your kid? Why are you putting this in front of them?" And it's because I feel like there was that stigma around it. But nowadays, I don't see why it wouldn't be acceptable. If a kid says, "Hey, I want to do esports one day," why not be able to invest in that without worrying, about this judgment and things like that? With the rise of esports, even in the college level, um, we talked about the Big 12 expanding out and OSU being at the forefront of it as far as esports expansion. It's a high level that it's now at, especially whenever you get into the college realm of things. Whether it just be as a hobby or people want to, pursue it as a profession, I feel like gaming is now at a more comfortable conversation. Um, Especially if we look at social media, I see clips of streamers at least once a day. Maybe I'd say at max, you're talking 20 clips a day from streams of just people doing either gaming clips or just random things. Streaming has evolved so much within the past few years that we should respect it more. And obviously, with the rise of things like AI, it's going to help gaming get better, in my opinion. I think it's going to help expand things to where in games where you may be a single player and stuff, you can be more interactive and it can give that feel of a multiplayer and really help users' interaction whenever they're in the game. So overall, I think games are going to get better, esports is going to get bigger, and streaming will continue to create so many different communities that it's already on the uprise. I think it's going to create even more and help all of us come together through such a unique thing as streaming is. So I'm looking forward to what the next steps is in the gaming community and the streaming community, and can't wait to be on the front row seeing the evolution of gaming for years to come. Thank you.